and welcome to this week's podcast from the Frank Partnership. I've just finished our webinar, our Monday morning webinar with all of the partners and all of the members on the Frank Partnership. And this podcast is really just to recap the learnings and the progress that the guys have made over the last week or so. So welcome, thank you for tuning in, and let's crack on with the content that the guys have just experienced. So one of the biggest things that I find with my clients, mentees, coaching clients, property clients, clients in business as well, if I'm honest, but let's just focus on property for the time being, is the number of offers that they make compared to the number of opportunities they have to offer. So if you think of your month to date, it might be this big. So your offer, the number of offers that you can make might be 20 in your month. So these are deals that have crossed your desk, they've landed on your desk, and you are considering whether to offer on them or what to offer on those particular deals. So that's the first number. So the number of opportunities you've got to make an offer compared to the actual number of offers that you've made. So you might have had 20 opportunities to offer in the last month, but you've only actually offered on 4 of them. So it's a 20% rate of or conversion of opportunity to offer to actual offer. Now, what I find is that this is really, really common. So I asked the question of the Frank Partnership this morning, how many deals have you had, and what's your offer rate? And lo and behold, not everyone. Some people are up there at 80, 100%, which is brilliant. And they're typically the ones that are making the most money in their property business. Most are down at 20%, 30%. And I know why, and there are many reasons why. But let me just explain what happens if you do that. If you select or self-select the deals that you're going to offer on, you miss out on the other ones. And I'll tell you a quick story. Richard Branson, before he purchased Necker Island, he went down to the islands. He inquired with some estate agents. This is in his autobiography, Screw Business as Usual. He viewed some of the islands. He stayed on one of them, and the estate agents flew him around with his girlfriend to have a look at some of the properties, some of the islands. And he decided to offer on Necker Island. I think it was 2 point something million pounds that the owner had asked for. That's what the agent asked for. He offered 180 something thousand pounds, 187,000 pounds or something. And by the time they got back to their hotel, their bags had been packed and they were outside the hotel, as in, your offer is so low and so rude, we're not even going to let you stay here anymore. Lo and behold, though, a few months later, the vendor got in touch with Richard Branson and said, if you're still interested, I need to sell quickly. If you'll give me that 180 grand, you can have it. And that's how he got Necker Island. Now, he would never have known that if he hadn't made the offer. And he never would have got the deal if he'd never made the offer. So my suggestion is make offers on everything that you receive, even if you think they're embarrassingly low. Explain them, explain why you've made a low offer, explain your business model, etc. Because secondly, the vendors that are motivated will then come to the fore. And you won't know unless you actually make an offer whether that vendor is motivated or not. And that's the key part that I feel is missing from many people's property business, is the fact that they're not taking enough action. They're not taking enough action. And I asked the question of one of my clients this morning. I said, so you've made, I think it was 1 offer out of 8 so far this year. What is it that's more important? And his reason was he doesn't have enough time to do the due diligence in order to make the offers. And so my question is, well, what's more important than making offers in your property business? And he couldn't name anything. Nothing is more important than making offers in your property business. So my suggestion is, well, prioritize it as such, and then you'll make lots of offers. The vendors that are motivated will come back to you and will enter into a dialogue, and that's how you make many deals. That's how you will get lots of deals going through. Here are the reasons that the guys gave for not making offers. Not enough time to make to do the due diligence. We've just talked about that one. Not having the finance in order to see the deals through. And my answer to that is, well, make the offers at such a level that you know you can then pass them on to someone else and be paid a finder's fee. Because at the moment you're making 1 out of 5 offers that you could be making. If you made 5 out of 5 offers but made them all lower, and 3 vendors came back to you that you can't possibly buy all 3, you will be able to sell those deals for a finder's fee. So plus you get to cherry pick the one that you want to do. Being organised enough, well, that just comes back to doing a default diary, planning your week in advance, planning your quarter, planning your day in advance, and not having enough confidence. Well, the confidence one is get yourself a mentor, get yourself a coach or a mentor, join the Frank Partnership. It doesn't matter where it is, but get yourself the support so you can make offers with confidence. Absolutely crucial, that one. Really, really important. Okay, that was really the long and short of our session this week. Have a look at the number of offers you can make, and make an offer on every single opportunity that you have. We did a couple of deals, a couple of analysis of deals this morning. There was a rent-to-buy deal down in London where the valuation was 305,000. The vendor had a £105,000 discount, and the Frank partner was wanting to know how they can help the vendor whilst making a return. The best way of doing this that I found is to lend the funds to the purchaser. You have to make sure that they're no longer going to live in the property, because that's a business to customer loan, and that's a FCA regulated activity. But if the purchaser is moving out of the property and is willing to let it on a buy-to-let basis, then you're allowed to make a buy-to-let bridging loan to the purchaser, and that way you can earn a return on your money, and the purchaser can refinance at some point in the future. What I do is I make it a very high interest loan, so it might be at 20%, 25% interest, which works for the vendor but also works for you. It means you can bring in a JV partner and offer them a good rate of interest, and then the purchaser, like I said vendor just now, I meant purchaser, the purchaser of the flat from the council, the purchaser then can refinance once they're able to and pay you back, and they've made a big chunk of equity, and you've made a really good return on your investment because you've used funds at a lower interest rate from a JV partner. Of course, if the purchaser of the flat doesn't refinance, then you have a first charge on the property and can repossess if needs be in the future. So I find that a really good balance of win-win to do on rent to buy. Had another deal that we critiqued, which is a very interesting one actually. It is a flat that's got the freehold, and then a flat above it that also claims to have the freehold, only 2 stories. And the Frank partner was asking, how do you go about this? Can you get lending on it? She's trying to lend on the ground floor flat. I've actually come across this a couple of times. I like these kind of deals because they are normally offered as cash-only deals, but actually you can get lending on them if you know what you're doing. What I said is to make the offer. The offer hasn't been accepted, so not to do any more work on it. We make loads of offers, but we don't do loads of work on them until they've been accepted. If it is accepted, what we'll then do is find out whether the flat above has a share of the freehold or whether it has a flying freehold. If it has a share of the freehold, we have a bit more of a challenge, still overcomeable, but a bit more of a challenge. If it's a flying freehold, then quite frankly, we are home dry. We can just get a mortgage on our flat quite easily because we have the freehold. The best way of doing this is to buy the one above it as well, and then to create a freehold with 2 leaseholds, 2 999-year leaseholds, and then you have a bog standard building that whereby both units. Both flats are mortgageable. If the person above you doesn't want to sell, then what you can do is you can create a management company, put the freehold in the management company, give them 50% of the management company, and then each of you create your own leaseholds that you then own. I'm doing that at the moment with 2 other parties, so there's 3 of us that own the 4 flats, and that's a very simple way of doing it. It doesn't cost much. You're looking at between £2,000 and £3,000 to do it. On the property that I'm doing it on, the flats I purchased them for £49,000 each, and they'll go up to about £75,000 each in value once I've created proper leaseholds for them. So it's quite a lucrative thing to do. It also cuts out on all of the maintenance issues that you'll have. If you think about a block where no one has responsibility for maintenance, there's no set agreed way of sorting out maintenance of who pays for what. There's massive opportunity for conflict. What happens if there's damp in the ground floor flat? The first floor flat doesn't want to do anything about it. What happens if the roof leaks? The ground floor flat couldn't care less, so it doesn't want to pay for it. It's fraught with issues. So that's a quick property injection for you on your Monday morning. Have a great week, guys. And if I can be of assistance, feel free to contact the office and bounce anything off me. Okay, take care. Have a great week. Bye.